Okay, this is the second section of chapter 13, basic probability. So we're using what we learned last chapter on how to count up things to create our probabilities. All right. Sorry about that. What is the probability of getting heads on random coin toss? On a random coin toss. Okay, so, well, first we look at how many ways can you toss a coin? How many different outcomes can you get? We really only get two, heads or tails. So, total possible outcomes. Now, how many are we looking for? Getting heads, a head, one, there's only one. So the probability of getting a head on a random coin toss is 1/2. All right, let's look at the second one. What is the probability of randomly drawing a black marble from a hat with one black marble and 3 blue marbles? Well, this one's a little more difficult. You're looking at a pool of how many marbles that you could draw. Now, granted, 3 are blue, but you still have to count each one individually. So really, you have 4 marbles inside the hat. And the probability of drawing a black marble, we only have 1 black in there, is 1 in 4. So chances are, in 4 draws, you would draw at least 1 black. All right. What is the probability of getting a 1 or a 2 when rolling a number cube? Again, how many possibilities? On a number cube, there's 6 sides, 1 through 6. So there are 6 different numbers you could get. Getting a 1 or 2. We're looking at getting 2 different numbers, either a 1 or a 2. So the probability would be 1/3. Okay, so probability is the likelihood that an event will occur. An experiment is repeatable activity. Drawing a marble from a hat, rolling a die, flipping a coin. Those are all repeatable events. Okay? And they result in exactly one of a finite set of outcomes. I rolled it and I got a 5. I rolled the dice and I got a 3. I'm not going to roll the dice and get a 20. There's a finite set of possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Done. Okay, so that's what that's saying. The set of all possible outcomes of an experiment is called the sample space, or S. An event is a subset of a sample space. So that is one possible outcome, is an event. All right, the theoretical probability. Now, I want you to remember this terminology because there's a difference. We'll also be talking about experimental probability, which is very, very different. This is theoretical probability. The theoretical probability of an event, which we will write as P of E, probability of an event, is the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes, the outcomes we're looking for, over all possible outcomes. All right? And this is every outcome is equally likely, so it's totally random. All right, so what is the probability that a green marble will be chosen from a jar that contains 7 green and 3 blue? The event E is choosing a green marble, so that is what I'm looking for. It's the green marble. Okay, so it's going to be the number of E's, the number of green marbles, over the number of marbles in the set. So that's going to be 7 over 10. Probability can be expressed as a fraction, a decimal, or a percentage. Generally, I want to see fraction. Okay? Simplified fraction is what I'm looking for your answer. All right, the probability of an event ranges from 0 to 1. 0, it's never, ever going to happen. 1, it's absolutely for sure going to happen. Okay? No possible other option. So, for example, if I'm rolling a dice numbered 1 through 6, the probability of getting a number 1 through 6 is 1. I'm going to get a number. I'm not going to get a 5. I'm not going to get a 10. I'm not going to get a 12. Probability of getting a 12 is 0. 12's not on the dice. I can't get this 12. So its probability is 0. All right, the set of all elements in a sample space that are not in E is the complement of E. So the best way to understand that is if I have a sample space like rolling the die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and E is getting an even number, okay, that's going to be 1, 2, 3 possibilities out of 6. So 1/2. E complement would be the probability of getting an odd. I'm sorry, that line didn't show up very well. Hang on. Let me rewrite that. Okay, erase the bottom of that E. E complement, there we go, is the probability of getting an odd. So that's going to be 1 minus even. So it therefore is 1/2. So if you add the complement and its an event, a probability of an event, and the complement, probability of the complement, you're going to get 1. So if the probability of the event is getting a 1, in this case, it's going to be 1/6. The probability of not getting 1 is 5/6 because it's everything else. That's what complement means, everything else. All right, example 2. A single number cube is rolled. State the sample space. Well, we just did that, didn't we? Okay, so the sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Find the probability of rolling an even number. Well, there are 3 evens. So the probability is the evens over the total S's, right? So, as you can see, that's going to be 3 over 6, or 1/2. A single number cube is rolled. Find the probability of rolling a number greater than 4. Okay, how many numbers do I have greater than 4? 5 and 6, so 2. So that's going to be the number greater than 4, or 2, over my total. So it simplifies down to 1/3. All right. Sue, Heidi, Nelson, and Kim are eligible to serve on the junior class banquet committee. If the 2-person committee is randomly selected from this group of 4 students... Oh, sorry, Jack. I missed Jack. Sorry, Jack. 5 students. What is the probability that Kim and Sue will be on the committee? Well, let's see. I have 5 possibilities, and I want to choose just the 2 of them. I want to choose Sue and Kim. Now, first off, we look at the total possible, my N of S is 5, choose 2. Doesn't matter which 2, I just need to choose 2. That's going to be my bottom number. All right, so that's 5 factorial over 2 factorial and 3 factorial. So let's say I can crop everything off below 3. So I have 5 times 4 over 2 times 1. So that becomes 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So my bottom number is 10. All right, now how many possible choices? And we're using C, so order doesn't matter. So it's Kim and Sue. So I only have 1 of those 10 is Kim and Sue because they're only choosing 2. So that would be my probability. So what's the probability that Kim and Sue will not be on the committee together? That's 1 minus the probability they are. So that's 9 over 10. All right. The 4 members of a student council committee are to be chosen from a group of 5 boys and 4 girls. What is the probability that an all-boy committee will be selected? Well, okay, this gets a little complicated. All right, so I have the number. Okay, E is a committee of all boys. There's 4 of them, but I have 5 boys. So the number of ways I can choose 4 boys is 5 choose 4, 5 combinations of 4. Okay, so this is equal to sets of 4 boys, right? So it's 5C4, which is basically 5. And the total number is all 9 people choosing 4 at a time. So 9 choose 4. 9 times 8 times 7 times 6, 5 factorial. I'm going to have 4 factorial, and 9 minus 4 is 5 factorial. 4 factorial is 4, 3, 2. I don't need to write the 1. 4 and 2 is 8, so I can get rid of that. 3 takes this 9 down to a 3. So I have 7 times 6 times 3, so 21 times 6. So I have 126 possible committees. But I'm only looking at the probability of getting one of 5 committees. So we simplify that. Actually, that is simplified. So we're done. Okay, that's your answer right there. All right. Theoretical probability versus experimental probability. Theoretical is what we've just been doing. In theory. Now, experimental is actually based on data. You have done this, okay? You have randomly chosen 3 cards. You have randomly thrown the dice 6 times. You have randomly... That's the experiment, so that's experimental probability. If I roll a die 6 times, chances are I would get each number once. That's what our theoretical probability says, 1 in 6, right? So if I roll 6 times, I get 1 of each number. Well, what happens if, and it is totally possible, that I get 5 ones? Boom. Well, that is experimental probability. The experimental probability of getting getting a 1, if I've rolled it 6 times and gotten 5, it's going to be 5 over 6. That's my experimental probability of getting a 1. Theoretical would be 1 over 6. Chances of that are highly unlikely, but it's still a possibility. So that's the difference between theoretical and experimental. Experimental, you actually have to do an experiment to know for sure. Okay, so the number of times the event occurs, rolling a 1. The number of trials, I did 6 trials. If I had done 10 trials and gotten it 5 times, it'd have been 1/2. Okay, let's say I rolled it 10 times, I got 8 ones, and a 2, and a 6. Now look at it, I rolled it 50 times, and I never got another 1. Well, it's starting to balance out. If you do enough experiments, eventually you will get to the theoretical probability. The fewer the experiments, the less accurate your probability is. Okay. There we go. And there's your homework. Yay, it is on this slide. Woohoo! All right. Have fun. I hope you enjoy probability.